morning, everybody. Good morning, it's JPR, and hoo boy, today we're going to be covering a topic that I swore to myself over and over again I would never put on this channel, and that is my top 5 favorite Pokemon anime movies, which means, sorry Detective Pikachu, you are not counted on this list, but in reality that movie is probably better than almost all of these. Anyway, I swore I'd stay away from this topic because I know just how heated people get about their Pokemon movies. People look for different things in different movies, and there are 22 and counting of these suckers, so it's not like they're getting any easier to rank. So that's why this video is my top 5 favorite movies. I'm not doing a top 5 objectively the best Pokemon movies, breaking down cinematic masterpieces type of thing, because that's just gonna make people mad. There is literally zero consensus in the community about most of these movies from what I've noticed over the years, except that Hoopa and the Clash of Ages is bad. I think most people actually agree on that one. Anyway, let's get started with number 5. Just kidding, I'm cheating already. Number 5 is actually a tie, just because I believe these two movies are incredibly similar from a story perspective, and it was literally a coin flip between one or the other, so I figured I better acknowledge both of them, and they are Pokemon 2000 and The Rise of Darkrai. These two are your classic big bad legendary battles with the fate of the world hanging in the balance flicks. They're not really movies that you need to put a lot of thought into. You can just flip them on and have a good time watching them almost anywhere. Except maybe a funeral. I think both of these movies have some incredibly iconic moments, my favorite being Team Rocket teaming up with Ash in 2000, and Darkrai sacrificing itself to save the town, and really just that entire Oracion ending sequence in The Rise of Darkrai. The characters that these movies also introduce are ones that have endeared for many people. Of course, everyone remembers and loves Melody from Pokemon 2000, and I think Alice and Tonio were fantastic main characters in The Rise of Darkrai. These are just fun Pokemon movies, plain and simple. These are the two that always come to my mind whenever I even think about Pokemon movies in general. Number 4 is a movie that I think is criminally underrated, and that is the 6th movie, Jirachi Wishmaker. It's funny because as a kid I actually thought this was the worst of the 4 Advanced Generation movies, but every single time I've rewatched it, it's climbed my list, which is a trend that I can't say applies to many other movies. If I had made this list maybe a year ago or so, I probably would have put Lucario and the Mystery of Mew in this spot, but frankly, I just think Jirachi Wishmaker has aged better. First off, Jirachi is adorable and is easily one of the best supporting mythical Pokemon in any Pokemon movie. Secondly, Butler and Diane. They are great one-off characters for this movie, and they work beautifully. Thirdly, it's about as well-paced as a Pokemon movie is gonna get. It never drags or goes too fast. And finally, Flygon just carries the third act of the movie. Find me one person who doesn't think Flygon is cool in this movie, and I'll find you a liar. And if you're typing that contradictory comment right now, you're a dead man. I think the most memorable part of the movie is the usage of May's Lullaby, which is also the ending theme for the movie called Chisaki Mano. Not only is the song beautiful, but both the original Japanese and the dub version of the song are used. And it's one of the reasons why I strongly believe this is the best English dub Pokemon movie of them all, and maybe just 4Kids' greatest dub in general. I will fight someone on this. Number 3 is a movie that I guarantee nobody saw coming because I genuinely think I'm one of the only people who likes this movie, and that's okay. It's the dual Victini movies, black and white, although I prefer the white version because Zekrom is cool. It's not the best paced movie, it takes about an hour to get off the ground if I'm being honest, but I think the time is well spent fleshing out the villain's main motives and developing Victini as a character I genuinely care about, so I never minded it that badly. Beyond that, this movie has some stunning artwork, a fantastic soundtrack, regardless of which version of the movie you watch. Yes, there's 2 different soundtracks. They actually put some effort into this dual version thing. And above all else, I just think it's cool they pulled this off relatively well. We've been getting dual versions of Pokemon games forever, but 2 versions of one movie was a brand new concept. I think a lot of people just glossed over this movie because it's from the black and white anime, and the black and white anime wasn't the greatest, to put it lightly, but I digress. This movie has heart in it, and that's enough for me, and I think the movie actually uses Ash greatly as a protagonist. Too many modern Pokemon movies just have Ash as a spectator on the sidelines as the legendary Pokemon get to duke it out, so I really liked how Ash had a prominent role in this movie, and the moments where he manages to awaken Zekrom or Reshiram are nothing short of awesome. Also, it holds a special place in my heart as the first Pokemon movie I saw in theaters. Number 2, Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea. Now, I actually understand a lot of the popular complaints with this one. The runtime is a bit long, the CGI water is aged rather poorly in a movie filled entirely with CGI water, and the new TPCI dub voice cast sounds a bit off in retrospect since it's their first movie under the new studio, but despite all that, this movie always manages to thoroughly entertain me. I think the Sea Temple is just one of the coolest anime original locations they've ever come up with, and I loved the entire journey for this bloodline of people to see it underneath the lunar eclipse. There's something so mystical and captivating about it. And I know I literally just said that I like movies where Ash gets a prominent role as the main character, but I think May fulfilling the role of the main character for the majority of the movie movie is a refreshing change of pace, plus she's a character we actually know and care about and not some rando who just now showed up for this one movie. I also love the addition of Jackie to the main cast, this smooth-talking Han Solo-esque character. This is the only time I've really liked seeing Pokemon Rangers in the anime, and I think it's great they pull off an entire movie semi-focusing on them. It only works because Jackie is so charismatic. And you already know I'm a sucker for good music, and this movie boasts my favorite soundtrack of any Pokemon film. Shinji Miyazaki's brilliant score brings so many of the scenes to life and makes the entire movie memorable to me. And finally, number 1 shouldn't come as too much of a surprise considering how much I raved about this movie last year. Yes, it's Pokemon the movie, The Power of Us. If there's one thing I care about more than good music, it's good artwork, and this movie outdoes all of them in that department. The movie is the result of a collaboration between OLM and Wit Studio, and together they create a film that is incredibly aesthetically pleasing. It is a treat just to look at. Everything from the character designs to the scenery is breathtaking. And speaking of music, it's the only Pokemon film in recent years to not get a dub soundtrack. Instead, it keeps the entirety of the wonderful Japanese score, and for that, I am truly thankful. In addition, this movie takes place in an alternate universe, which means it isn't tied down by the progression of Ash's journey or the fact that he has to have his friends with him wherever he goes. Instead, we get a great cast of new, colorful characters who all have to work together to overcome their own flaws and save their city. Except for Ash, who's just a 10-year-old anime protagonist. He really doesn't have any problems, and if that's the biggest flaw in the movie, then I'm willing to forgive it. This character-driven approach was something they pulled off incredibly well, and I wish they would try to experiment with movies like these more often. And finally, this movie just straight up has my favorite ending of any Pokemon film. The final scene with the narrator reminds me why I truly love Pokemon so much to begin with. And that's gonna do it for this video. Those are my top 5, well, technically 6, favorite Pokemon movies. Again, I know a lot of people don't agree on this topic, so all I ask is that you keep it respectful in the comment section down below, and why not go ahead and tell me your top 5 favorite Pokemon movies in the process. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.